السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
وعليكم السلام دكتور.
مرحبا، الله يسلمك. Do you see my screen?
Yes, doctor.
يا دكتور واضح.
Okay. طيب، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I'm about to start the tutorial about respiratory system. To revise the slides that may be seen in the OSPI. So you have to know the modality. In general, you have to know the modality. If you ask about the modality in this one, you have to say this is a plane radiograph or plane X-ray, plane X-ray or plane radiograph. The modality: plane X-ray, fluoroscopy, angiography, CT, MRI, nuclear medicine, and so on. So this is a plane X-ray or plane radiograph. Also, this is a plane X-ray, modality plane X-ray. Again, those are plane X-ray frontal views. Frontal means either AB or BA. يعني يا تقول PA frontal، يعني أنا ما حسألكم من AB and BA، بس frontal, which include both AB and PA, or lateral, as we can see in the next slides. This is the modality plane X-ray. The views is frontal X-ray. You have to keep this in your mind, especially for the theory. For the theoretical exam M block, you have to put this in your mind. This is a lateral view. The modality is X-ray or plane X-ray again, but the view is lateral view. The lateral view. Also, all of these are plane X-rays of the chest. The views are frontal. I'm not going to ask you about the adequate or under or over exposed field, but you have to know the modality and the view. Also, this plane X-ray frontal views. Also, this is frontal X-ray, plane X-ray, or chest X-ray. Again, modality plane X-ray frontal view. In this one, you have to know, in addition to the view and modality, you have to know some radiographic anatomy. This is a trachea, right main bronchus, left main bronchus, carina, right and left hemidiaphragm, right lung, left lung. This is all you have to know about the respiratory system. Trachea and its division into right and main bronchus, right lung, right and left hemidiaphragm. This is all you have to know regarding or concerning the respiratory system. Also, this chest X-ray frontal view, modality X-ray or plane X-ray. Right. Those are lateral views. You can see this is the area of the oblique fissure. You have to know the lobes according to the fissure. As you know, there are 3 lobes in the right lung and only 2 lobes in the left one. This is a lateral view. It could be asked about the left or right lobe. Both lower lobes on both sides are inferior or posterior to the oblique fissure. This is oblique fissure. this is a lower lobe in the right lung, also this is a lower lobe in the left lung. Both are lying inferior posterior to the oblique fissure. So if the lobe is posterior or posterior inferior to the oblique fissure, it could be it is a lower lobe. To decide which one, right or left, you have to look for the frontal view. But from the lateral, the lower lobe on both are lying inferior posterior to the oblique fissure. So you have to look for the frontal view to differentiate between the side, right or left. Anterior to the oblique fissure, in the left lung, we have only lobe, which is left upper lobe. But in the right lung, there are two lobes. To differentiate between them, you have to look to the minor or horizontal fissure. If the lobe is superior to the minor fissure, this is the area of the upper lobe. If it is below the minor fissure, it is the middle lobe. So in this one, if because the label area in the right, so the lobe in the right first. You have to decide the side. This is the right side lobe. To know which lobe, you have to look for the lateral projection, lateral view, and to look to the oblique fissure. If this lobe is inferior to the oblique fissure, this is a lower lobe. If it is anterior, it may be upper or middle. You have to look to the minor fissure. If it is above the minor fissure, this is the area of right upper lobe. If it is inferior to the minor fissure, this is the area of the middle lobe. So from this is a right lobe. To decide or to differentiate which lobe, you have to look to the lateral. If it is posterior to this oblique fissure, it is lower lobe. If it is anterior, you have to look to the minor fissure. This is the upper lobe and this is the middle lobe, as simple as that. So in this one, you have to look to the right side. If the label area in the right side, so this lobe in the right side, because we have serial lobe, may be upper, middle, or lower lobe. So you have to look to the lateral. If it is here, this is the lower lobe. If it is here above the minor fissure, this is the upper lobe. If it is here, is the middle lobe. So again, you have to look first to the frontal view. This is the right lobe. To know which lobe, you have to look to the lateral. If it is inferior lateral to the oblique fissure, it is lower lobe. If it is above anterior to the oblique fissure, it may be upper or middle according to its position to the minor fissure. If it is here below the minor fissure, it is middle. If it is above, it is upper lobe. The lower lobes is very easy because you have only two lobes. First, you have to look to the frontal. This is the left lobe. You have to look to the minor fissure. If it is inferior, it is lower lobe. If it is superior, it is upper lobe. There is no other option. There is no middle lobe in the left one. It is easy to know the lobe in the left side. Also, this is a lower lobe. Which lobe? Because it is inferior lateral or inferior posterior to the lower lobe, it is to the oblique fissure, it is lower lobe. So you have to look to the both frontal and lateral film to differentiate between different lobes. All these are plain X-ray. So modality is the plain X-ray or plain radiography. The next question would be about the lobe. You have to decide which lobe according to its position. This is a horizontal fissure. This is a magnified part of the chest X-ray to see to demonstrate the minor, the horizontal or minor fissure. For example, this is a lateral chest X-ray. From this is oblique fissure. This, if it is on the right side, this is a lower lobe. If it is in the right left side, also this is a lower lobe. But anterior to the oblique fissure, it may be superior or inferior in the right. In the left, there is only one lobe. So this is the upper lobe and this is lower lobe. If this is the left side, this is the left side because there is only two lobe here. This is a inferior lobe and this is a superior lobe on the left side. From
Doctor?
this, yes.
From lateral view, how we can know this is right lung or left lung? Because the frontal, it's easy to differentiate, but from lateral view, how we know?
From lateral only, if we look for the lateral only, the left lobe, the lobe that posterior inferior to the oblique fissure, it is lower lobe in both, but you are not able to see definitely this is the right or left lung. So I am going to give you two projection. In generally, if you in practical, if you look for the lateral only, and if there is no frontal view, and if there is a pathology in this area, you are not able to see this is a pathology in the right or in the left, because both are superimposed in this area or overlap. لأنه الإكس-راي بتمشي من السايد للسايد. During its projection, it can transmit into the right and the left. So any pathology in the right or left appear in this area. So from the lateral only, it is difficult to differentiate between the side, right or left. You got me?
So, doctor, for example, in the exam, you will tell us this is the right and left lung in the lateral view, and after that, you will ask us about the features.
No,
Fissure?
I will going to give you two projection, frontal and lateral.
Okay, that's good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Also, this is a chest X-ray, modality chest X-ray or plain radiograph. X-ray or plain radiograph. Modality. When we say modality, we are not interested in the anatomical region or exposed area. Modality, X-ray or plain X-ray. Also, all this is a X-ray of the chest, frontal view, and this is X-ray of the chest, lateral view, X-ray, plain X-ray, frontal view, plain X-ray, frontal view, plain X-ray, lateral view. طيب كده خلصنا البلين اكس-راي. يعني تعرفوا انه بس تقول انه this is a plain X-ray and the lobe according to the position. CT, in CT you have to know this is a CT from the start. But is the modality also this is a CT. All these are CT images. Right? Then you have to know what is this called? CT what?
CT scan of the thorax, mediastinal window, I believe.
Yes, excellent. Mediastinal window. And this one?
The lung parenchymal window. The CT
yes,
scanner.
and this one?
The screen froze, doctor. It's just me. There we go. So mediastinal window again.
And this also is
Lung parenchymal
yes.
window.
So you have to know the modality and the window. I will going to ask you about what is the modality and what is the window. The window might be mediastinal or lung window. You have to look if the lung parenchyma is clear or the mediastinum. So the modality and so this is what?
CT scan of the thorax, mediastinal window.
And this one?
Same thing, mediastinal window.
Yes. What is this?
Is
Trachea.
Yes, this
trachea.
and this.
I have no idea.
The lung.
Which you have to
Right lung.
right lung, and this is the left lung. What is this?
Left primary bronchus.
Yes, and this point.
Carina.
Yes, you are right. You are right. So what is this?
Lung parenchymal window. The CT scan.
Yes. Yes. Okay. What is this?
MRI of the thorax.
Which plane?
Transverse.
Yes, transverse or axial or transverse. What is this modality?
MRI.
Also, it is
Transverse
or axial. What is this?
CT scan of the thorax.
Yes.
Lung parenchymal window.
Yeah. Yes, you are right. And this is?
MRI of the thorax.
Yeah. Okay. So you have to differentiate between CT and MR. This is only CT, but the other three remaining are MRI. This is a lung window, as you mentioned. Excellent, very good. Again, you have to know, in addition to this one, what is this?
Trachea.
Yes, this is right and left lung. This is all you may be asked about in the hospital. No more than this. It is easy to score a full mark, all of you. Any question?
Doctor, in slide number 34.
Slide number
34, the last one.
Yeah.
We said that something axial. What's the question about this answer?
What is the plane? What is the modality? And what is the plane? Is it axial, coronal, or sagittal?
So if we ask about the modality, we say MRI, but about the another one, what is it?
Modality MRI or CT or brain X-ray. In this one, we can ask you about the section or plane. You have to write axial. In this one, or CT, this is I will ask you about the section or plane. Is it axial, coronal, or sagittal?
Doctor, I mean about the plane. Is it axial for the right one?
All these are axial.
Okay.
Yes.
Doctor,
fortunately, there is no sagittal or coronal section in all this slide. All are axial or transverse. So if you ask about the section or plane, all of these are axial or transverse.
Doctor, only the one in the left is the CT, right?
Yes, this is all is CT. This is CT, but the other remaining are MRI.
Doctor, I have two questions regarding that slide we just saw. For the MRI, we just have to type MRI of the thorax, no inclusion of the windows, and like the CT scan.
No, MRI divided into sequence T1, T2 flare, but at this time you are not responsible about the sequences. Just you have to write MRI.
Okay, doctor. Another question, doctor. Other than knowing the whether it's the modality and the view, do we have to know everything else? Like we just saw with the CT scan, the trachea, the left and right primary bronchus. Do we have to know their features as well? Or just...
Yes, trachea and right and left main bronchus and carina.
And carina. That's all?
And right and left lung.
Oh, okay.
The structure that related to the respiratory system only.
Okay.
This is on CT, but in plain X-ray, in addition to this, you have to know the right and left hemidiaphragm.
Okay. All right. Another question, doctor, about the lobes. So for the lobes, all the lobes for the right and the left lung. When you give us a picture, you're gonna give us both of these pictures together, right?
Yes, I will give you, for example, both these views in one slide. You have to look to the frontal. This is a left. Definitely, this is a left side. So this lobe in the left side. Then you have to look for the lateral one to localize the lobe. If it is inferior to this oblique fissure, this is the area of left lower lobe. So you have to write left lower lobe.
Okay. Another question, doctor, on like slide 18 about the lateral views, just the lateral views. Are you going to? Can you get just with like slide? Okay. It's slide 18. Okay.
This one?
This one could work. Okay, so doctor, about the lateral views, are you gonna show us just like a picture of the lateral view and just gonna ask us about the modality, and the type of view, and that's it?
I can ask you about the modality from the lateral view.
Yeah.
But about the lobe.
Yeah, the lobes.
Regarding the lobe, no. I will give you another projection, frontal view, in addition to the lateral view.
Okay, so pretty much, doctor, any questions about the lobe is going to be referring to the slides after number 18, so 19, 20, 21. The terms for the lobes. Okay.
Yes, I don't understand you. What do you see?
Oh, I meant, doctor, like any questions related to the lobes for both right and left lung is going to be related to the one with like the blue triangles. I mean, not the blue rectangles, like the one we saw on slide 19 and 20 and 21, etc.
Yes. Regarding the lobes, as we said, I will give you the both views. For example, this in one slide. The first question may be about the modality. Which the modality? The second question about the lobe. You have to write the right middle lobe, left lower lobe, and so on. The side and the lobe.
Okay. One more question, doctor, just to be sure. For the, you said that the anterior posterior view and the posterior anterior view is irrelevant. Like if you're asked to, if you're to ask us about the view, we just say frontal view.
Yeah.
Okay.
No need to say this is a posterior anterior or anterior posterior. Frontal view include both BA and AB.
Doctor?
Yes, welcome.
Can you go to the MRI and CT slides? Slide number 31.
Okay.
Yes, the one just...
Yeah. This one?
And that's in I'm recording. As if waiting. What's up?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Welcome.
the one before it. It
Yes.
starts with the CT mediastinal view window. Yes,
Slide now.
number 31.
Yes. This one.
السكرين مو واضحة دكتور، مو طالعة.
ما طالع. بينت كده.
أيوة yes this slide.
كده بينت السكرين.
أيوة واضحة.
Yes.
دكتور
طيب.
about the carina. Only the
Yes.
lower picture has the carina, right?
Yes. You are
The
right.
other pictures there is no carina.
Yes. Carina is the point at which the trachea bifurcate into right and left. Yes. Carina is all in this image. Yes, you are right.
Even the images after this. صح؟ مو موجود.
إيش؟
Even the images after this one, it's not there.
Yes. Carina is present in this only one.
Okay,
You are
thank
right.
you, Doctor.
Thank you. Is there any question or any comment or
Doctor,
yeah?
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Yes. Do you have any question?
Okay, regarding
Go
diaphragm, for example, you will ask us if it's expiration or it is normal respiration in slide number 10.
Yes. Concerning the OSPI, I'm not going to ask you about the quality of the X-ray. Is it expiratory, inspiratory, rotated, or what? I'm not going to ask you about
like
this.
Okay.
But in the theory, it may be asked about.
Just in this slide يعني.
لا in general يعني OSPI in OSPI I will ask you about the modalities, anatomy, and planes and windows.
Okay.
Doctor, I have a question about slide 23.
Yes.
For slide 23, Doctor, is there any question going to be asked about this picture other than the modality and the view? If there's
No, because this is a horizontal fissure. This is exploratory film. This is not a chest X-ray, because chest X-ray should include both lung, but the modality is plain X-ray or plain radiograph. This slide only to demonstrate the horizontal fissure.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. I have one more question, Doctor, on slide 13, with the anatomy.
Yes.
Just to be sure, Doctor, could you please repeat what we have to know about that structure?
Yes, you have to know its respiratory structure, which include trachea, right and left main bronchus, the carina, left lung, right hemidiaphragm, left hemidiaphragm. Oh, I forget the angles, cosphenic angles, right and left cosphenic angle. This one.
Okay.
right lung, right costophrenic angle, and left costophrenic angles, CB angle.
So doctor, the right and the left hemidiaphragm is like in the middle of the diaphragm?
This is a diaphragm,
Yeah.
right hemidiaphragm. I may put arrow in this area and to ask you about which this structure. This is a right hemidiaphragm or this structure. In this image or in the other image, I can ask you put image arrow in this area. What is this? This is a right hemidiaphragm or left hemidiaphragm. Right costophrenic angle, left costophrenic angle. Trachea, for example. The left main bronchus and the right main bronchus, right lung, left lung.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, doctor.
Thank you.
طب دكتور الرايت مين برونكس واضح بس الليفت مين برونكس مو موجود بالبوينتس في
If I am going to ask you, I will choose a very obvious image. This one, for example, the right and left are very clear. Right and left main bronchus are very clear. Don't worry. If I ask you about the right main and left main bronchus and trachea, I will choose the good quality X-ray.
Okay.
Do you have any more questions?
يعطيك العافية دكتور.
بالتوفيق، دعواتي لكم إن شاء الله ربنا يوفقكم. Anytime, if you have any more question, you can send me through my WhatsApp or email. I am welcome to receive your question anytime.
Doctor,
Yes.
last question about the diaphragm. For
Yes.
example, can you give us a question about how it's coming? Yani?
I will make an arrow in this area. The diaphragm, this one or this one, right or left hemidiaphragm. This is the diaphragm. Yes, is it clear?
Yes.
If you have no more question, again دعواتي لكم بالتوفيق
Thank you, Dr.
موفقين. Thank you بالتوفيق. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الله يسلمك. بارك الله.